Hey, welcome back. We made it through another weekend. It is the Monday Morning Money Show. Today's show is brought to you by Woody Folsom Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Douglas, Georgia. Now, Woody has dealerships all over South Georgia, several different cities. He's the #1 volume dealer in Georgia, South Georgia for sure, North Florida. Raymie Newton is a sales professional there at the Douglas store. Now, Raymie, why is it? How is it? First of all, welcome to the show.
Oh, thanks for having me. First time listener, lifetime friend.
Very, very true. Why is it, do you think, that Woody Folsom is such a powerful result? How does he get the results that he does? Because, you know, Douglas, Georgia is not known for a dealership that sells 130 cars per month. Usually about a quarter of that is what normal people have been getting results-wise.
I think it's because of the great product and the big offer. Like his big offer is the lifetime warranty, which covers the powertrain and the engine for life. I mean, it could be at 400,000 miles. It goes out, it's getting fixed no matter where you are in Canada or United States, anywhere in the United States.
There it is. So there you have it. And by the way, I know for a fact that you always get more car for your money and more money for your car when you're dealing with Woody Folsom.
Every day.
Every day. So, Raymie, everybody has a story, and I want to hear Raymie's story. So, Raymie, give us the bio, man. Where's Raymie from, and who is Raymie Newton, the great and powerful Raymie Newton?
Just normal guy from Coffee County. Wanted to get out of here so bad that I joined the Air Force. Went everywhere, United States, other places in the world, and where I wanted to come home was home, and it was Coffee County.
So you were a Coffee County guy as well?
I was. Go Trojans.
Yeah. Where did you go? Where did you go in the Air Force? What are some of the places you visited?
So I've been to Ramstein, Germany. I've been to Ohio, stationed there.
Yeah.
I've been to Biloxi, Mississippi, cesspool of America.
Germany. How was Germany?
It's nice, very clean. Some interesting facts over there. The policemen, they get 65 miles. They're allowed to use a week. After they do that, they have to patrol on foot the rest of the time.
So they have
in their car. Yeah,
they can go 65 miles per week in their car, and then after that, they have to patrol on their feet.
That's it.
They drink a lot of beer in Germany, don't they?
They do. It's really good beer.
I forget the stats, but I mean, I heard it's astronomical. The most beer per capita is drank in Germany, I think, than any other country. Is that fair?
Yeah, true.
For sure. What'd you do in the Air Force?
I was a medic on a C-130.
Medic?
Yep.
Really? Oh, so speaking of medic, or I guess taking blood and things like that would be something a medic would do. What's this on your arm right here?
So every 3 months, I try to go give blood. It saves 3 local lives, and it's very important. Could be someone you know that my blood's went into.
Gotcha.
Somebody's like, "Oh no, you got Raymie Newton blood."
Yeah.
But
that could be scary. So did you gave blood this morning, or is that just like a prop?
No, gave it this morning right before I came here.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's get the picture of Raymie. I don't know if it's on. Is it on your Facebook wall?
Yes, it is.
Find the picture and let's put it in the comments. By the way, today's guest is Raymie Newton. Now, Raymie is a lifelong, born in Coffee County, Georgia. That's where I'm from. So it's always special to me when I can have a local guest. You know, Raymie, this show reaches people in all 50 states and in other countries. We know Canada. We've had some Germany. We've gotten gifts from people in Germany as well. So I try to appeal to a broad audience and not just, my friends. So we've had guests on from all over, and I got a very special guest coming on very soon. I'm going to show you a conversation between me and someone you know. Don't give it away.
Oh, wow.
You see who's coming?
Yep. I'm going to stalk the door.
You're going to what now?
I'm going to stalk the door.
You think,
I want to meet that guy.
Yeah, everybody does. Everybody does.
It made me a lot of money.
Yep. So, okay. Speaking of making a lot of money, this is a Monday morning money show. All right. And money's important. So it's very, very important that you have some good information. Now, I'm going to tell you, did you hear us talking about the Jihari Window at all on any of the shows?
I usually tune in for Feel Good Fridays.
Okay. So are you familiar with the Jihari Window?
I'm not.
Okay. So the Jihari Window is an idea. It is something they use in they use it in treatment centers to help people discover things about themselves. They, they use it in psychology classes, and I don't know exactly how medical it is, but I do know that it's very effective and it's very interesting. So imagine a square window with 4 panes. All right. The top pane is the area that, there you go, is the area that I know about you and that you know about yourself. Big guy, hardworking guy from Coffee County, friendly guy, polite guy, intelligent guy. Those are things that Ramie knows and that everybody else knows about Ramie. And then in the next pane are the things that Ramie knows about Ramie that Billy nor anyone else knows.
So who I am when no one else is around.
Yes, and the things that you have not revealed to other people about yourself. Good, it can be good and bad, okay? But, there's a lot of those things that we all know about ourselves that no one else knows about us. And then the third pane are the things that I know about Ramie that Ramie doesn't know about himself. That sometimes that's the box we focus on the most on the show, is trying to reveal something about someone that they don't even know about themselves yet. And it is, sometimes we do it in jest, sometimes we do it being funny, but sometimes it's very enlightening. And it's, so I like to be educational and hope, educational, informative, entertainment, I don't know what the adverb for that is, but anyway, entertaining. And then, but I also like to help people. If we can enlighten anybody, that's like the ultimate.
So for example, if you were like, oh, by the way, you're getting fired today. That's the third window. And you knew it, I didn't. That would
definitely be.
Woo. Don't do that one today, Billy.
Yeah. That would definitely be a third pane of the window. I've gotten fired before. And so when they were on their way to come fire me, my Jihari window looked like this. Hey, we're about to fire Billy and he doesn't even know it yet. So you're exactly right. Okay. So that's what we're going to focus on. That's what I'm going to focus on with you today. And it has nothing to do with being fired. It's going to be actually good. But the fourth window, this is the most interesting one. And I think over time, this show will help us all learn or reveal more about the fourth box. So the fourth pane is things that you don't know about yourself. I'm sorry. Things that I don't know about you that you don't even know about yourself yet is what we like to use. 4 years ago, I had no idea I would be doing a show every day at 11 a.m. 4 years ago, we had no idea we would become better friends. Basically, we've been friends, but acquaintances for a while, not really close friends, but I want to be everybody's friends. I think we need more friends, the happier we are. But we had no idea that you would come to work with our organization and that you would learn the things that you know now and then take those things. So that's the fourth box. So maybe
to add on to that, because I remember actually I delivered a pizza to you.
You did.
And you said, man, you can make so much more money than this.
And so that's perfect. That fits perfect with that's a segue to what I'm talking about here, the Jihari window. Here's the Jihari window. And you may already know this about yourself. I'm sure you do a little bit, but hopefully I can at least articulate it in more detail and hopefully reveal a little bit more something about you that maybe you don't quite know, but that most people definitely don't know and that they should learn from. We got some comments already right there.
Yeah, mostly just greetings, but okay. Yes, sir.
Cool. Let's see who has taught who has spoken so far. I see Jeremy Newell. Is that Corey Levins on there?
Yes, sir.
Hey, that's a good guy right there. I need to get Corey on here and do some Jihari window with him. That would be very interesting. I don't know where that show would go.
I need to get back working out with Corey Levins.
Yeah, that's the best
shape I've ever been in my life.
So that's Jihari window wise on the top, the first box. Corey knows he's in shape and everyone else knows Corey's in shape. That's, you know what I'm saying?
I'll take you to school every time. Nutrition, whatever it is.
Okay. So back to the Jihari window, third pane that I want Ramie, and I want to use Ramie as an example to everybody. Ramie, here's something that I know about you, and I'm not sure that you know it completely, not to the level that I know it, but you are a man who looks at the details and looks at the information unbiased, and you're able to look at something in spite of other people's opinions. He's nodding his head, so maybe I didn't unveil something that he didn't already know. But you're very next level when it comes to forming your own opinions based on the evidence and based on the information that you have in front of you.
Oh, that's always nice to hear.
Yep. So, and the reason I say that the pizza story is a good segue is because, you know, here's something else that you know about yourself, and I'm not sure if everybody else does or doesn't, but you're willing to take a chance.
Always willing to take a chance.
You're willing to go for something, and you're willing to try something new.
If I believe in the product.
Okay. So let's talk about that. You mentioned that you had delivered a pizza to my house. Sure. Now, I guess you believed in Domino's.
I still believe Domino's. Shout out to you guys. Still believe in your great pizza.
Okay, there you go. So, but you know, Air Force. By the way, let's talk about your education. Let's get the full scope. This is a very smart, very educated person. So give us that box that you know about you that the audience doesn't. What's your after the Air Force, what's your education background?
So I went to Valdosta, got my teaching degree, and then from there went to Troy University, got my master's, and now I've been accepted to Liberty to work on my doctorate. And with as many kids as I've got 6. Still trying to find the time, but eventually it'll happen.
So you got your master's from Troy University?
Yes, sir.
Is that also is that in education, or what's your master's?
It's in education, yes.
Master's in education. So here's a master teacher. Okay. Air Force. What's some other interesting things that maybe I don't even know that you've done? I know you were a wrestling coach. You were a wrestler. You were a wrestling coach.
I've sold insurance before. That's probably where I learned best to hear the words no.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
And so I'm not afraid to hear no. And that's also what adds to me as a salesman. Firefighter, been a cop for 2 years. There's also plenty of great authors that have been different jobs like that.
Oh,
Herman Melville, for example. Maybe I'm saying his name right. Wrote Moby Dick.
Yeah.
Shout out to him.
So you've been a police officer.
Correct.
Firefighter. A wrestling coach, a teacher, an insurance salesperson, and then you also delivered pizza. You delivered me a pizza.
Yeah. So,
you know, now here's something that a lot of people don't know that I do know. You mentioned authors. I'm not sure about authors. Obviously, the author of Moby Dick has done several things. I've done a lot of things as well.
Yes, you have.
I'm very well. Yeah, we'll get there. That's one of the better things I did. But so there's sometimes a stigma, and I say that it's a very inaccurate and it's wrong. It's fundamentally wrong. Most stigmas are, but a lot of people think it's a negative thing for someone. They call it jumping around, but for someone to do different things. Have you dealt with that? Has anybody said, Ramie, why do you jump around and do things?
Oh yeah, you get that all the time.
Okay.
You know, settle down. You're going to be 60 before you know it.
That's okay.
But you also see the same people when their kid's really good at a certain sport. Mm-hmm. They're like, oh, I just want them to stick to that one sport and never do anything else.
Yeah.
But then those same kids, they burn out on that sport.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Lou, you just gave me a treasure trove of information and things to go with right there. What you said, oh, I get that all the time. Settle down. What you were doing, you were starting to rattle off. Well, you did rattle off. You're going to be 60. This advice, unsolicited many times. Unsolicited advice.
Thanks, Mom.
You know what? From people that care about us often, that doesn't make them qualified to give you advice. Just because they love you doesn't mean they're qualified to give you advice. Okay. Now I'm gonna give you someone who's very qualified, and I'm gonna back up 6-7 years and use this person in the past so that I don't want to create ill will just because of who this person is now. But before he ever seriously talked about running for president, Donald J. Trump, he wrote several books, The Art of the Deal. He wrote Think Big and Kick Ass. He wrote several books, and in all those books, he gave advice. Now, Donald Trump, very qualified to give business advice, maybe not marriage advice, right? but very qualified to give business advice. And he's hired and fired tons of people. Yeah. Make sure you stay pretty close to the microphone.
Yes.
So Donald Trump talked about in I think it was Think Big and Kick Ass. I read all his books before he was a political figure, back when he was a Democrat, we'll say that. He gave tons of advice. And one thing that he looked for when he hired somebody is someone who had done many things.
Oh, great.
I mean, think about it. How backwards thinking is it to want to recruit someone or hire someone that hasn't done many things? It just has one skill. Now, sure, there's a lot to be said for stick-to-itness, but I think very often some people mistake learning new things and creativity and curiosity. They mistake that for being not having stick-to-itness. Couldn't be farther from the truth.
Well, what I think about that is that those kind of people have great resources. And like me, you can give me any problem. I can always come up with 3 different solutions. And the first one's always the easiest one. It's do nothing. 90% of America does that. They may say like, oh, let's table that for later. And then they try to find a guy who can actually take those table for laters and solve them. Yeah. And those are the kind of people that go after. So yeah, kudos to him for doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. And back to the man, the problem solver in the room, Ramie, willing to try different things. You learn a lot when you firefighter, cop, teacher, coach, wrestler. I think just having that wrestling background is
50 ways to take you down, 100 ways to keep you there.
Yeah. So I mean that's
hey honey,
that's a problem solver. Hey honey. So I look for people who've done different things. So when you did now, and again, I mentioned curiosity, when you delivered the picture, like, Billy, man, I want to learn more. I want to learn I don't remember the exact conversation. You said, I want to learn how you guys do what you do. I want to learn how to sell. I want to be a salesperson. And who better to learn from than the master? I think you said something along that, because I had written the book at the time when I'm always talking about selling him. And the reason I say you're willing to look at the evidence, you've seen the product, meaning the people that I have trained. You've seen them doing well. You've seen them running dealerships, and you've also heard a lot of negative things about me, but you look at the results, you know what and you're like, I don't know anything about it, but I want to learn. And I said, well, let's start with the book. And by the way, I got to say, Ramie, this is a good thing, but you were not someone I would say he's going to be great at sales. The reason I say it's a good thing is because you're very intelligent and you seem very left brain to me, with structure and you got a master's degree, accepted to go get your doctorate degree. You're very educated. Many times the left brain educated intelligent people struggle with the nuances of sales many times. So, like I said, I was hopeful, but I wasn't super confident that you would be a great salesperson.
And kudos to Billy. He's the one that got me my job at Woody Folsom.
Yeah. Well, but here's why. I said, okay, come on. I knew he was very smart. He's a teacher. And at the time I needed some help we have a lot of young people that work here in the office. So I hired Ramie first. And the first thing we do with everyone is they have to read the book. They have to go through the book. And I mean, heck, that was easy enough, for Ramie.
And take the course.
Yeah. Then you have to go into the Digital BDC Academy and take the course. Like I have a young person here now taking the course. I think she was supposed to be in school, but she's not in school. So I made her take the Digital BDC Academy.
Happy Columbus Day.
Yes, it's Columbus Day. Nobody needs to go to school on Columbus Day. But I think the reason you did well is because you were willing to come in and, okay, well, this is the course and I'm going to take it, because here's a Jihari window that I think you and I have the same principle is when somebody tells you something, when someone makes a claim, you process it and you immediately make a decision. Sometimes you can be wrong. Sometimes you can be right. He's full of crap, or he knows what he's talking about. When somebody makes a claim to you. And I know I made you a big claim. I said, if you'll take the information in this book and use it, learn it and apply it and use it every time, you'll be a very effective appointment setter and therefore digital salesperson, because appointments sell cars, sell whatever your product is.
Sure do.
And so you dove into the information. First of all, is that true? When you hear someone make a claim, do you judge that claim, right? Make a decision whether or not you believe that person?
It does go off the person. Like with you, I tell people all the time, one of the best things Billy Merritt's good at is selling himself. And I want to be able to sell myself like Billy sells himself. You're super confident. And I got another thing that goes with that. Once you're super confident, just get ready for the magic to happen, because everything else flows.
Very true. Now, do you know where super confidence comes from?
I'm hoping you're saying knowledge.
Well, it is knowledge, but there's a bunch of super knowledgeable people that don't have it. So, confidence comes from certainty. So when you're certain of something, then you can be very confident. So I'm confident. I'm super confident that this book can make you a lot of money. This is the Monday Morning Money Show. I'm super confident because I'm certain of it. I have confidence in the book because I have confidence in the process. I have confidence in the information, the specialized knowledge that's in there, but that I've seen work time and time again. Once you've seen something work and you know the process, you can be confident in it because you can actually, you said perfect. You wait for the magic to happen. It is almost like magic because you can predict the future. If you do this, you're going to have success. True. So you jumped in and you helped us. You soaked up the knowledge. We got you on Cardone on Demand, where you started learning some more sales skills. What was that like?
Oh, it was awesome. Even some people, when I would be typing, getting appointments, they would listen to music. I was like, screw that. I'm fixing to listen to Grant Cardone, make some money.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And just listen to him. He gets you pumped up. You're like, oh my God. And I kept saying, I wish I was selling something. I hope these people I'm making appointments for sell something, because I'm pretty sure they're going to. Mm-hmm. And after that, it all led to the next thing. And instead of hitting the little bell on here, because we have little bells on our desk here at Billy Merritt Studios, when you make an appointment, you hit it, he's like, ding. Sometimes angels getting their wings all over the place. Ding, 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 ding.
Mm-hmm. That's right. So you wanted to sell something. I called one of my great friends, one of the great general managers I know, Billy Gregory, Buyback Billy. He's the other Buyback Billy. He's a very confident guy as well, isn't he?
Amazing closer. Amazing closer. He's the reason I came up with the saying, you know why Braves are winning these days? Because they don't wait to call in their closer. And I'm just as quick, like, Billy, I need you in here. He'll close it. Another thing I learned about car sales, before I got into car sales, I could snap my fingers like this. This is a car salesman snap.
It is.
Got it done, son.
Yeah. That's a new thing there.
Yeah.
I don't think we did that back when
I can't even snap like this anymore. This is the most fun way to snap.
Is it? That's a confident.
Once you start doing it, it's addicting.
That's a closer snap.
I like it.
So, all right, let's talk about selling cars. Did the art of text message selling help you when you started selling cars?
Oh, all the time. The big offer, especially. And then, like, the other day I had a guy, he was just, one of the salesmen was just standing in front, waiting for this person to roll down the window. And I gave him a minute or two. I was like, you know what? I'm going in. I went in there, tap, tap. And that could have been for my cop days. I'm not afraid to tap on a window.
Right.
They rolled down that window. It's like, how can we help you today? And you heard him in the back. Snake. Like I'd stole his person.
Right.
But Grant Cardone, Billy says the same thing. Everybody's potential client. Yeah. If you're just going to stare at the window, I'm going to hop in and I'm going to make that client happen.
Exactly. Speaking of sales and that philosophy is who is a customer? Who's a potential customer?
Everyone's a potential customer.
Everyone. See, that's the good information right there, that you judged me on, you said, you know what? I believe he knows what he's talking about. And I said, get in there and learn from Grant, do it Grant's way, and you'll never go wrong. And other people have listened to Cardone on Demand. Other people have said, oh, he pumps me up. He's motivational, whatever. And then they go listen to somebody else. And like all they're doing is listening. There's no buy-in. So if it's not about, honestly, it's not about motivation. It doesn't surprise me that he pumps you up, gets you thinking about money, gets you excited. I love to see you, moving and getting the physical into it as well as the mental, the moving. But it's not just motivation. It's not just mental. It is real useful information. It's knowledge. It's being certain, and then of course it's taking action, because if you don't take any action, it's not going to happen. You agree?
I agree. Totally.
Okay. So when you started selling again, I was like, yeah, I think he'll do pretty well, because he's in the information and he's bought in. Being bought in is so important. But you had some success in sales quickly.
Well, the first week I took your advice. I just watched how the other salesmen worked. And you'd go just to shadow them. They'd be like, shh, thinking you're trying to take their person. Just here to shadow. I'm not going to sell a single thing this week. And I saw the good things and the bad things, and I took them and I made them my own. And obviously didn't want to keep the bad things.
Right.
Like, as soon as you hear the person's credit score, you're like, thanks for coming. No, I'm still working you, because guess what? One day, Grant Cardone says it, Billy says it, they're going to come back. And if you treat them like they're worth $1 million, they're going to remember that in the future. So that's what I always do.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's taking that good information and not buying into the negative. I'm going to tell you a story about Grant that you may not know. Jihari Window Grant just right now. Something that I know about Grant that maybe you don't know about Grant, other than what show he's going to be on pretty soon.
I think I know that now too. Wink,
okay.
Wink, wink. Easter egg.
So Grant started selling cars in Lake Charles, Louisiana, which all the dealerships are wiped out there now. We actually had a dealership there that was running an event with us 2 to 3 times per month. And he was having massive success. And unfortunately, that dealership's gone now. So I'm sure they'll be back, and they'll be back stronger than ever. So thoughts and prayers to everyone out there, because they just got hit with another hurricane. But Grant was selling cars there. Grant, educated guy. He came, he got an accounting degree, got out of college and couldn't get an accounting job. His uncle said, you're going to sell cars. He said, no, I don't want to sell cars. And he said, yeah, you're going to sell cars. So he went and started selling cars. And after being there a little while, having a little bit of success, he said, I want to get good at this. If I'm going to do it, I want to get good at it. So his first stop was to start talking to the people who had been there for a long time and had been, 10, 20-year car guys. And then he heard what they had to say, but looked at their numbers, and they were still selling the same amount of cars they were selling when they started. And basically they were selling about the same amount of cars that he was selling. So you could have taken, I'm going to compare you to Grant, our mentor right here.
Sure.
You could have taken the advice from the people who were already selling cars that had that bad information and ran with that. And you could have been saying, nah, man, you could have started copying them, but you copied Grant, and what wasn't working for them worked for you because you were approaching it with the good information. Everybody's a buyer.
Everyone is a buyer.
Treat everyone like a millionaire. Treat people like they have a lot of money, and they'll spend money they don't have. And that's not a negative thing. What I'm saying is that's just the nature of the way America operates. You know what I'm saying? That's the get it done. So, what that led to, back to the Grant story right here, what that led to was he said, man, if I'm going to do this, there's got to be some training somewhere. There's got to be somewhere somebody knows how to sell and how to close. So he borrowed a certain amount of money from his mom or uncle or someone and bought some cassette tapes of Jackie Cooper, who was the only sales trainer at the time from South Carolina. He ended up owning several dealerships. His son, Mark Cooper, actually has worked for me. Mark Cooper came down to Broxton, Georgia to get his copy of the book. I signed it for him, got a picture. I will put that picture up as well. Anyway, that was who Grant first started training under. Wore the tape out, back and forth, started practicing it, doing just like you did, taking the good information and the bad information. No, I don't want to use this. That's not productive, because everything we do is either adding to or taking away the best possible result we can have. So if we have a goal, best possible result, everything we do, all the information we take in that we allow to program us is either adding to, making it easier, or taking away from the chances that we'll hit our goal. So he started replacing that with information on his own, and he developed information-based selling, where, as you know now, when a customer comes in, they want
information.
They want information. So if we lead with the information in the form of rule number 1, which is what?
Big offer.
Making a big offer with information, then it's gonna work better. So Grant developed that. He started filming himself in closing situations, recording his phone calls and listening to see what worked, what didn't work. That turned into, and this was not going to be a pitch for Grant's, book, but hey, if he's willing to come on the show and talk about it, that'd be a great thing.
I still say it all the time. The thing you hear him say all the time, you don't have to buy today, do you? Let's
Right.
just get some information.
Yeah.
He always says that every time you listen to each one of his tapes.
Yes. So that led to the development of Cardone Training Technologies and 7 or 8 businesses now. So, it all started by selling cars and not listening to the information of the salespeople around you. He went somewhere else to get his information.
And he gives great tips too, like don't wear sunglasses when you're talking to your customers. Even if your customer's smoking, don't smoke with them.
No, don't smoke.
Dress professionally. And I try to tell this to people that I work with. I was like, I just ate at the Peking House. And I saw someone that was dressed nicer than you asking me for $1. So would you like $1? Mm-hmm. Some sales will get mad, like, what?
Yep.
Guys offer me $1.
Yep. Hey, but you know what? I don't know where this guy worked at, but I went to a convenience store early couple mornings ago, and there was a guy in there, and I should have asked him. I thought maybe I could tell by the car he was getting in. The guy here, it's 6:30 in the morning, slacks, shirt, dress shirt, tie. And I did speak to him. I said, man, I have a rule to be the best dressed person in the room, and you're in first place. And it makes a difference.
Builds confidence.
It makes a difference, makes a tremendous difference. So anyway, my point of the long story there was what starts out as a simple, idea of I want to sell cars and be good at it, can turn into a multi-million-dollar platform and empire. And it all starts with a simple goal.
Sure. Woody Folsom has that exact story.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone knows where he started at, and now look where he's at now.
Let me tell you a Woody story.
Sure.
Okay. Woody Folsom, and you may already know this completely. He was washing cars. He washed the cars at a dealership in Baxley, Georgia. He actually washed the cars, and they kept getting on to him. The owner kept getting on to him because they couldn't keep him out of the showroom because he felt strongly that he could sell cars.
That's powerful.
And so they finally just gave him a salesperson's position. And back in these days, we're talking about in the 80s, the owner would try to sell as many cars as they could. There was no like giving cars away. He still sold 50 cars a month. And he went on to buy his own dealership, and then 30 years later, as they say, the rest is history.
Still getting bigger and better every day.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so let's talk about business real quick. My definition of a business is a product or service that has value that you can sell, that you are scaling. If you look at your most successful businesses, Woody Folsom, in the auto business, tremendous, success. He's always been scaling and growing, because I believe if you're not growing, you're dying.
True.
Okay. So many people, have these small businesses, and let's just use a barber shop, for instance. A barber shop with one barber cutting hair, you're maxed out with how many people you can, how many heads of hair you can actually cut. So there's a cap on what you can earn.
True. Unless
you put some more chairs in there, get some more barbers in there, and scale. Then once you max out your one facility, you can move on to another facility. And dealerships that aren't growing, man, if you look at them, they're really retracting and they are dying. You have to be willing to get in there and scale and get out of your comfort zone, or you're going to get ran over by somebody who is scaling.
Yeah. And speaking of barbers, Oscar, I think everybody knows him around. He's got one in Pearson, one in Douglas. He even comes to the Woody Folsom place because Billy likes these guys look sharp on Tuesdays and cuts our hair.
Yeah, that's exactly what it takes. That's that kind of whatever it takes.
Go getter. Yeah.
Go get. So let's talk about that massive action. Obviously, the dealer you work for is known for just taking massive action and doing whatever it takes to grow and to help the customer. There's no doubt he's going to take care of the customer. Talking about your barber there, it's a whatever it takes type attitude that you got to have with massive action. True or false, we'll use wrestling and tie it in to business. Action trumps thinking about it.
Oh, false.
False?
Oh, yeah. Not with wrestling. You have to have a game plan. I mean, you can be the strongest guy in the world, but if the other guy's got a game plan when you come at him, you're going to be taken down.
You can't take him down without action.
No, yeah. Well, when you put it that way, yeah.
You gotta have action. Retreat or attack?
Attack. I mean, you look at Iowa's wrestlers. They're known for taking a shot, missing, keep on shooting until that guy's off the mat. They never retreat.
Never
surrender.
Never retreat.
Until now, Penn State's up.
Really?
Yeah, Penn State's the wrestling team now.
So if someone is being attacked, someone is getting bombarded with bad information, and it looks like you're losing, should you retreat? What's you're just getting bombarded in life in general. You're getting just hammered. It looks like you're losing. What do you do?
Take a breath. Keep at it.
Just keep at it.
It's like that donkey that fell into the well. The owner's trying to bury him. Shakes it off, takes a step up. Next thing you know, the donkey's got enough dirt to step out of the well.
So don't quit.
Never give up.
Never give up. So did you...
Can we play some Rocky music now?
No, they won't let us. They copyright thing. But I do want to get... Paul Sullivan, you say you watch on Feel Good Friday. Paul Sullivan is...
Da Beers.
He is a radio guy, and he's been able in the past to play music. I want somebody to tell me what I've got to do, Smith. If you can tell me what I've got to do where I can actually play the music on here. What makes me different than a radio station?
Facebook.
You would have to have copyright licenses, essentially. That's what I get for the stock music. So anytime they put up a claim, I can send them that little form and let them know who the copyright was for, and they'll knock it off after a day or so. Now, with the claims themselves, like what we got with DDP Yoga, that is really not an issue since it's just a claim. This is like the claim versus strike thing. A claim basically just means if you monetize it, they'll run ads. They might put a link below it. If you get a strike, on the other hand, that's trouble. That's actual real trouble.
I got you. So they can claim it, and then that means that they can, if it's monetized, they can get money from it as well.
Yes, they can run their own ads.
Pretty smart there.
Yes.
Very smart.
Yeah. Have we got some comments? Let's take a look and see if anybody's paying attention. I saw.
Maybe if you sing it on your own. There's no easy way out.
Actually, I thought Paul told me they could give you trouble for that as well.
There's no shortcut home.
Is he making up that song?
No, that's a Rocky song.
Oh.
Youngstown, the bill to my house. There's no money there really right now, so good luck.
Corey was laughing earlier at what we said about him. Everybody knows he's in shape and all that.
Yep, everybody knows it. Everybody also knows who he supports politically.
Yeah, Joe Biden. Oh God, he's gonna find me now.
Robert Brooker's telling everyone good morning.
Yep. Hey, there you go. Thanks, Robert.
Thank you.
Appreciate the support, bud.
Caleb Wilson was saying, treat him like a millionaire.
Treat them all like a millionaire.
Right.
Did you know that Caleb worked for Grant?
I didn't. No.
Caleb worked for Grant. That's where I met Caleb. So I'll tell you a Caleb Wilson story. At the same dealership that you work at now, the same building. I was sales manager there, and I convinced the owner we have to go. Chris Campbell went with me. I said, you got to send Chris and I to Orlando to Cardone School. It was for 7 days. I mean, it was like being in, I've never been to university. I went to South Georgia College, but I felt like it's being in university. You sat down and you had a lecture, and then it was like being in college for sure. It was intense training, intense learning. And one of the speakers was Derek Simons, who turned out, by the way, to be a wrestler and a black belt jiu-jitsu practitioner. So I was very interested in him, and he had this product he was telling us about, and it was a pretty good product that they were selling. It was a software product they use on the website, and I could live with or without the product, but I was like, we have to have this product. We have to have it implemented into our dealership. So I convinced Chris to convince the owner to get this product. Well, the product came with in-house training. So Grant sent 3 trainers into the dealership to work with we stay down there for a week training. And then we come back to Douglas. We came back to Douglas, and 3 trainers came to implement this process to train with us. And one of those trainers was Caleb Wilson. Caleb at Auto Trader was real big at the time. So Caleb, he gave us a lot of good advice on how to use Auto Trader correctly. Great information, great knowledge. So we implemented a lot of things, and it really helped. Funny thing is, most people didn't really buy in the way that I did. So naturally I didn't stay there long, but what developed from that is a relationship with Caleb and me, and then Grant. I ended up getting in contract to work for Grant as well. But all that developed from the buy-in, which is the same full circle back to judging the good information and using that good information and buying in. Why do you think so many people have trouble buying into good information?
It's definitely going to be the belief. It's like with insurance. I could always sell term insurance, but I couldn't sell whole life insurance because I didn't believe in whole life insurance. I thought people were throwing away money. Mm-hmm. And especially when you got someone like Dave Ramsey that's like, all you need is term insurance on you and your wife, because in 30 years, your house is going to be paid for. You're not trying to make your relatives rich by you dying. You want to live. Please live.
Yep. And yep. Now, that definitely works. Let's stick to the point first before I comment.
And I had term insurance.
Yep.
So obviously, if I didn't have whole life, I'm not going to be able to sell it.
Gotcha.
But I've got a car from Woody Folsom. So obviously, I'm great at selling it.
So you believe the same thing that I believe, that you very much need to buy and own what you sell.
Correct. Without a doubt.
That alone makes the biggest difference to me. That's the simplest thing that I think that you can do, is buy what you sell. I always did it. You
even bought from me. You even said, yeah, you got me the job. You said, hey, and I'll come buy a car from this summer.
That's
and
right.
True to his word, he came and he bought a nice truck from me.
And I only buy from people who buy from me. You know what I'm saying? And but to that point of buying what you sell, April's interior design. She also sells furniture. One of the furniture stores. This was back before we were seeing massive success, and she wanted I don't know, bedroom suit, mattresses. Some of those mattresses can be very expensive, like $10,000 or $12,000. She's like, that's just too much money. I said, buy it. She said, that's too much money. I said, buy it. I said, have you ever sold one? And I can't remember if she had sold one of those expensive ones at that time or not. She probably had, but when she invested the $10,000 or $12,000 in a mattress, it became very easy to sell. It just shows that you believe in it. Like, hey, you spend a third of your life sleeping. She'll ask them, how much did you pay? How much did you pay for that truck you drove up in? Well, it was $60,000, Ford Platinum. You can spend $60,000 on your truck, but you're not going to spend $10,000 on a mattress. That doesn't really make sense, and they'll buy it.
Hey, and the stock of that mattress went up because Billy Merritt sleeps on that mattress.
Yeah, that might be why it goes up. I think it's more. We even coined the phrase "mattress queen." She sold so many mattresses.
That particular one?
Yeah,
she bought it.
That particular one.
That's awesome.
And then we have some more surprises coming up for April's interior design. We're gonna, have you ever watched the Wednesday show with April?
I haven't watched yet, but I'm so intrigued. I got to know the name of this mattress.
The mattress? Okay, see, I'm not the mattress king, so I can tell you. I should know what I sleep on. I don't sell it, so I'm not supposed to know, but I can keep on talking until I think of the name of the. I can't do it.
April's in tears right now if she's watching.
She's not watching. She's actually doing something she's solving some problems right now. She's doing something very intensive. I can't wait till about 12:30 where I can go see how all that turned out. Speaking of surprises, we do have a tremendous guest coming up soon. We've dropped some hints about who it is. One of my mentors, still got you saw the message.
I saw the message. We've laid plenty of Easter eggs this show.
Yep. Do you think we should be in the new office when we do the show?
I like the ambience of this place. I really do. I've never been in it before, and it is awesome.
The ambiance?
Yeah. Did I say it wrong?
No, you said it right. I'm not
French.
I wish I could spell ambiance.
America. I'm with you there. Not a very great speller.
Not a great speller. So if you believe in buying what you sell, do you see salespeople that sell cars that don't buy nice cars from where they work?
It's very rare, extremely rare. Obviously, because you also get employee discount when you work there. Mm-hmm. So why wouldn't you? Because it's the best deal you're ever going to find.
Yeah, it would be silly. It would be very silly not to.
It would be idiotic.
Smith, you don't necessarily sell cars, but we're in the car business.
Right.
We got to make that investment for you too.
Yeah, I know. I too need one.
It's time for Smith to make that investment.
Get one with a lifetime powertrain warranty. Good for U.S. and Canada.
I have that rule. I have 48 employees now, and they can buy wherever they want to, but I can also hire and unhire whoever I want to. So whether it's unwritten, right, wrong, or indifferent, it's very imperative that my ninjas buy from our dealers.
It's a great rule.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, they feed us. That is a great rule.
Walmart, Sam, Sam, the guy that invented Walmart, he said that a customer can fire the VP all the way down just by not spending their money at that business.
Absolutely.
He was genius.
He was genius. Did you know, I'll tell you, I've read his books as well. Did you know that when he first went to Kmart, Kmart was the biggest and the best before Walmart. So he went to Kmart and copied them and made it better.
I didn't know that. I thought he started at Benjamin. He bought a business called Benjamin Franklin's.
Yep.
And he made that business so big that the person he was leasing from said, all right, you're out. I'm not renewing your lease. And that person tried to take over the business. And he said from then on, he knew, always buy the land. Yeah.
While that part is true, while he was owning Benjamin Franklin's, the reason he made it so big is because he had to drive like 60. I'm not going to guess or guesstimate. It wouldn't be a total guess. It'd be a guesstimation. But he drove to the closest Kmart, saw how they were doing it better than him, went back to Benjamin Franklin's and implemented it. He would be seen in Kmart on his hands and knees with a tape measure, measuring the aisles and seeing what works and what doesn't work. And then he took it, made it better. They went out of business. And the Walton family, to this day, if you combine all their wealth, are the richest people on the planet by far, including Jeff Bezos and you know, those who's worth 150 billion or something like that.
They did the same thing that you're talking about. They took the good things and the bad things and they put it together. And throughout the bad.
Yes. So that, you know, we've talked about it. It may be in the training. It may be in Grant's training. I say it so much, I feel like it's something just that we came up with here, but there's good information and bad information. How do you filter that?
Through experience, seeing what works, what doesn't work.
You know, but you have to, everybody gets experience. So you have to have, there's something that works for you because you've had massive. Has anybody outsold you since you've been at the dealership you're working at?
No one's got 22 and a half sold yet. Yeah. And that's the most ever sold at that store. Yeah. But at other stores, I mean, in Baxley, there's people that have sold 40 and 50 in a month.
Yeah, but if you were there, you would be doing the same thing. I sold 40
right with them.
I sold 42 in Hazelhurst there. So
that's huge.
But I mean, you had 800 in stock. It was different. You know, I mean, I wasn't doing twice as good as you. I had twice the opportunity.
Another thing for the customers, you want to go to a place that's selling 140 because a place that's selling like 10 a month, when you come in, they're looking to feed and pay their bills with you versus people that sell 140 like, we can make them a great deal because we sell 140. We move metal.
Hey, this is a funny story right here. I want to get this on one of the clips that we put out there. I noticed, Ramie, today I have Raymie Newton with me. Very successful local car dealer, local to my town, but nationwide, he could do this anywhere. Raymie took the art of text message selling, took it into a dealership, and started really having success. Was that true, Raymie?
That's exactly true.
Okay. Now, I saw on your Facebook where it looked like you had gotten in trouble for actually being a customer advocate or like trying to sell the car.
Advocate for the people. Yeah, I get it all the time.
So you've actually been criticized for being a customer advocate for trying to be on the customer side.
Not really. Just they're like, dang, James, I can't tell who's out there, who's the customer, who's the salesman. Looks like they're selling you. I will be honest with you, I'm already sold.
So I loved your post. I need to go back and find it. You said that you've already gotten in trouble for selling them too low, but they threatened to fire you for selling them too low
4 times.
They threatened to fire you 4 times?
Well, traded too high and sold it too low.
Okay.
4 times.
So that's real buy-in right there. You have been threatened by management that you're selling them too low and putting too much in trade-ins. That's the kind of reputation you want. That's the kind of reputation that will keep you from getting fired because that customer, they're going to keep walking in there asking for Raymie because Raymie is giving the customer what they want. Now, Raymie, I'm sure you've realized this already. I know you've studied this. Did you know that most sales processes are built around what the management wants?
I didn't know that. No.
Yeah, that's the truth. Most sales processes, if you went to any other dealership than the one you're at, you could not work there.
No, I agree.
Because their process is set up, these other dealers.
I've heard they make you run a credit before you can show a car. That's not treating somebody like they're worth $1 million.
What they're doing is they're building their processes based on what the management of the dealership wants. And what you guys do and what Grant says to do and what Woody Folsom has always done is turn that on his head and build your process based on what the customer wants. You want more inventory? I'm going to give you more inventory. You want more for your trade? I'm going to put the most I can in your trade. You know, you want customer service? We're going to give you the best customer service. And that is so much better for the customer, which ends up being better for the dealership.
True.
If you build, so salespeople, if you're at a dealership that builds their process based on what the dealership's management wants, you're probably at the wrong dealership. You need to find a dealership who understands, put the customer first. Of course, it's got to be good for both parties. But if you build your entire process based on what the customer wants, you're going to win, and you're going to win bigly.
It's true. Every job that I listed to you is jobs that are autonomous, where you can think on your own feet. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I wouldn't make it any place else where I couldn't kind of think on my own.
Right.
Like as a cop, you're in the patrol car by yourself. As a teacher, that's your classroom. no one's in there micromanaging you or telling you, hey, do this, do that. But yeah, you're right. Customers are the building block.
So I want to end on something very important right here. Jihari Window. This is something that I didn't know about you, but that I've come to know about you. You know this about yourself, and I just want you to talk about it in more detail. You're a very purpose-driven person. How many kids do you have?
6.
6 kids. Very purpose-driven, family first. You feel like you've been called to be an educator and to help, because I will say this, you could make a ton of money, way more money in sales than in the classroom. And you're still going to sell. You do a great job helping customers, but you're also still in the classroom. Is that right?
That's correct. Yep. 5th grade.
So what is it that, this is a money show, Ramie. You've already done it. You could leave teaching behind and go 100% all in on selling and make, we'll just say 3 times the money. Why don't you do that?
Well, and I hear teachers all the time, teachers were kind of silly. I believe that a great teacher can put prisons out of business. I believe a great teacher changes this world, and this world needs changing. I mean, we obviously know that. And walk out the door all the time, you're like, that sucks, that sucks, that sucks. We need more great things to happen. And I really believe I'm that building block that goes with that. And a lot of people are like, oh, listen at him. He also believes in Peter Pan and the Tooth Fairy.
No, man, I don't, you may have some critics that say things like that, but honestly, man, that's why I wanted to end on this. You got 7 kids, and I firmly believe that if you want to change the world, because the world does need changing, that you need to go home and love your family. So the biggest difference that we can make is with our own family, our spouse first, and then our kids. The wife needs to be on board. It has to be a partnership. You have to be able to face this big, scary world. You need a team, and then you have to instill something good, that building block, into your children. And then I can't imagine, I use this business as my place to make a difference. And I got all these young people around me, and I'm trying to make a difference in their life. But I totally believe that good moms and dads and good teachers can put businesses out of business. So there's a lot of them watch the show, and I don't, I see some comments from some of these great teachers. I'll tell you one that, just one that comes to mind, Colby Patton, that he was teachers for one or two of our kids. Colby? Mm-hmm. Colby does a great job, making a difference. And it's I appreciate you guys. I appreciate what you do, because man, it's got to be tough. And you teach 5th grade?
I do.
It's got to be tough. It's some of the things that you see that these 5th graders see they shouldn't see.
Definitely true.
So you're there for them to make a difference, and I greatly appreciate that. Now, you also coached wrestling and had some success as a high school wrestling coach?
I was the middle school coach this past year, but before that, when I was at Mount Zion, I was the high school wrestling coach.
Okay. And man, that's one of my favorite things, is to see sports and coaches that make a difference, because I've seen it firsthand.
Oh, yeah.
How coaches can make a difference in a kid's life. That's got to feel good, man, when you see a kid out in the public that could have went either way, and hopefully something you did made a difference.
Sure. And my coach changed my life for me, wrestling as well.
Really?
I had Jardine, I had Coach Barkley, who passed away this year, but I literally wept, even though it's been so long since I've seen him, because all the things that he did for all of us, making our brotherhood come together.
Well, guys, we just burnt through an hour, and it's time to tune over to Grant Cardone's show. I think it's coming up at 12 noon. Not sure what the Monday show is, but we're going to click over there and find out what it's about today. We're going to come back tomorrow with another show, a sales show. Ramie could have been on any one of these shows. Money show, sales show, a dealer show, winning together, Feel Good Friday. He's here on Money Monday. But most importantly, Ramie, I want you to close this thing out, give somebody some advice on what they can do to make this world a better place, because not only is it a money show, but we always want to do what we can to make things better.
Sure. Just make this world a better place. I always say this way: Jesus first, others second, and yourself last, and you will know joy. And that is the exact acronym of joy.
Hey, I like it. Appreciate that, guys. Tomorrow we're going to be here at another sales show. Until then, you guys watch Grant Cardone. He's coming up next.